Kristen, and you're listening to Podcast and Amplify, a podcast for women entrepreneurs who want to amplify their voice and brand through podcasting and grow a wildly successful business. I'm the executive producer and host of 2 shows and an entrepreneur, and I love helping women grow their visibility, mindset, and business to the next level. Each week, I share tips on how to launch and leverage your podcast, and I'm bringing on the very best business leaders to give you advice on how to build your business empire. Let's amplify your voice and business. Hey, Podcast and Amplify listeners, welcome back to the show. So today I'm excited to talk about why you should be using your podcast to expand your network. So I love using my podcast as a networking tool. And today I'm going to share with you 4 reasons why, if you're not using a podcast as a networking tool, you should absolutely start. And if you don't yet have a podcast, you'll get to see how you can use your soon to be launched podcast for networking and growing your business. So first of all, I don't approach marketing in sort of the traditional way where it feels very transactional. It feels like it's all about what can you do for me. I approach networking as community building. I want to work with people that I actually like. I want to collaborate and provide my services to people who I really feel a connection with. So I'm first looking for people, like I said, that I like. I'm looking to see if we have a good vibe together, if they're kind and knowledgeable, we share similar values. And so then if it makes sense, then I'm looking at how can we mutually support each other? How can I help them grow their business? How can they help me grow my business? Or if it's someone I think would be a good fit for one of my programs, how can I help them through my services? So that's really how I look at networking. So if you approach networking as community building like I do, and it's very much about wanting to give support and get support, then having a platform like a podcast is really great. So let's jump into the 4 reasons why I think podcasting is so much fun and such an easy, great way to grow your network and make those deeper connections. So first, it's an easy way to take your relationship to the next level. So when you genuinely like someone, you have that coffee connection call and you want to take it to the next level, you have a way to deepen your relationship by offering them something really valuable, like being a guest on your podcast. And it's a really easy way to sort of say, like, hey, I think we vibe. I think you have something to offer, and I want to invite you into my community. And I'm telling them that I respect what they do and what they have to say. So when I'm networking, I am always keeping an ear out for, would this person be a good fit for my show? Can I hear them on my show? And also, do I want to spend more time with this person and get to know them better? Most people are flattered to be invited on a podcast, and they see this as a really valuable opportunity to share their experience with a new audience. And number 2, it's also a great opportunity to build trust. So once they've agreed to be on your show, they are literally your guest. So that gives you the opportunity to treat them as one and to build that trust from your initial outreach and coordination to getting them on the show, to the interview, and then after the podcast when they are helping you to promote their episode. So you have so many opportunities there to engage with them and show them a little bit about who you are, and you get to learn about how they are and how they operate. And then as an interviewer, you hold space for them to really shine as a guest on your show. You get to help highlight them and make them feel comfortable, make sure that they feel like you've got them during the interview process. And that is a really fantastic way to build trust. Okay, number 3, collaboration. And the collaboration really does start from the moment that they say yes to being on your podcasts. For some of my guests, not all of them, we do a pre-interview where we literally create the direction of the show together. We refine the topic and we craft questions together. This isn't the process for every guest. Some guests, though, I have a sense of what they could talk about, and I know they have something to offer, but I'm not quite sure what. And so we get into these sort of brainstorming pre-interview scenarios, and I love it. I love parsing out, okay, what are you going to talk about? What do you enjoy talking about? And we're literally co-creating, and that is a really fun way to collaborate. And you get to see how their brain works. You get to see if you vibe as collaborators. And then you can think about, are we a good fit for future collaborations? And other ways that you can work together include, being a guest on their podcast if they have one, doing a lead magnet swap, maybe doing live events together, or if you have an affiliate program or they do, being a part of that, sponsorship opportunities. The list is endless for ways that you can collaborate with your guests. And they've already been on your show, so it makes it that much easier to open the door for that conversation and talk about ways that you can continue the relationship. So number 4, using your podcast to grow your network is very much about expanding your reach. So you get introduced to their audiences when they share their episode with their community, and vice versa. You get to help someone else reach new audiences, new listeners. So it's really a win-win for you both. You also have someone that you can ask for guest recommendations and introductions. So because you liked them as a guest and you invited them into your community that way, chances are you're going to like people within their network, and they can be a great source for guest or client referrals. So if you see someone that you want to interview, you see that maybe they're a connection, or you could just throw it out there and say, hey, I've been looking to interview so-and-so. Do you know them, or do you know anyone who might know them? They might know that person and be able to make an introduction. So those are the 4 reasons why you should be using your podcast to grow your network. Like I said at the top of the show, I absolutely love using my podcast as a way to create meaningful relationships with people that I just really connect with and I want to continue fostering a relationship with. And I have something really valuable and meaningful to offer them to do that. And it's mutually beneficial. They get to be on my podcast and I get to share their expertise and their knowledge with my community. So if you don't have a podcast yet, I'd love to help you start your podcast. If you do have a podcast and you're looking for some coaching around what you've created, I would love to help you as well. And if you want to book a connection call to talk about the ways that we can work together, I'd love to chat with you. And you can go to podcastingamplify.com to book a connection call. That's all I've got for you today. I hope this helped you to see how powerful a tool a podcast can be in terms of growing your network and your business. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you in the next episode. Thanks for listening to this episode of Podcast and Amplify. If you love the show, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss an episode. And the best way to support this show is by sharing, rating, and reviewing the podcast. For those of you who leave a review, you'll get the chance to win a 30-minute strategy session or a mini audit of your existing podcast. Thanks for listening, and remember, your voice and what you have to offer is needed in the world. Until next week, take care.